Thank God he's gone. Jesus.
Yeah, for real.
What a loser.
Yeah, it's not very one scundo, if I'm being honest.
Well, I can still hear you. Okay, whatever. Can't talk. Can't say anything. Can't make your little, oh, we're doing a cold open little comment like Davey always does if we just start the cold open without him.
Yeah.
Although it's not as fun without him.
Yeah, significantly less energy.
I hope he runs in. Just wild eyes. How are you, Matthew? How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm very tired.
I can tell.
The render for disqualified failed 4 times last night, so I didn't get to go to bed until after midnight. So, which also means I didn't get to export the audio show in time, which also means I didn't get to go up today, and I'm very mad about that. But other than that, yeah. So
it wasn't very cash money of you guys.
No.
I'm stealing that from you, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Been using that.
As you should be. Eventually you're going to start saying Skrilla also.
No.
So
I don't like that one. I don't like that one.
I got like somebody.
Yeah.
Bro.
You just gave Joe work to do? All right.
That's what you get for talking crap. I said not to talk crap about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you said it in a joking, loving way.
Yeah, and then I said I got grapes, motherfuckers, in a joking, loving way.
That's... At this rate, Davey's going to have to buy all 3 Racewind diecasts this week.
You want to do it one more time?
I gotta get a good one.
Just don't.
Hold on.
Honestly.
Let me think.
It would be very helpful if you didn't.
Oh, God.
Might honestly just cut everything out before this.
No.
Start the cold open over again.
Redo the cold open.
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna stop recording.
He didn't stop recording. We're still recording. And we are the Fake Racers Podcast, gentlemen. I'm Davey Hazard.
I'm Matthew Steelman.
Thank you for that. That was awesome. Who are
I'm
you?
very tired.
Joe.
Wait, should I put on my shades so people can't tell how tired I am?
Oh, I should do the shades thing.
Where are my shades? Oh, I can't find them now. Oh, there they are. There we go.
Okay. Men want to be him. Ladies want to be with him. It's Matthew Steelman.
Oh. Back by unpopular demand. It's me.
Look straight out of a 90s sitcom there, bud.
I do.
And you should go walk into that door like you don't see it because you have the sunglasses on, and then I'll play a laugh track or something.
That, or I need to do the thing in sitcoms where I walk in, I'm like, honey, I'm home, and then the studio audience goes nuts. Because they're like, he's back. So
speaking of TV shows, I started watching Daredevil. Pretty good.
Yeah.
How far are you?
8th episode. Yeah.
I'm covering up the logo because they screwed up my order and they don't deserve publicity.
Did you bring Bristol some?
He can have them. They suck. So.
Ooh, I got grapes.
Don't stop for those wings.
You can't sue grapes. Grapes are just there and they exist.
Yeah. For reference, I ordered 10 boneless wings and some fries, and I got 20 boneless wings in completely different flavors that I ordered, and none of them are good. So.
Oof.
Did you get the fries?
I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time.
No, I didn't get the fries.
The whole episode.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm not.
They just gave me somebody else's order. So
sad.
I guess multiple people named Matthew S. were ordering from Wingstop at 4 p.m. So.
I mean, you do have a pretty common name, and then S is a pretty common first
surname.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but Wingstop consistently has the worst customer service I've ever seen. But they're still in business because they're one of the very few places that you can just get wings now. So.
And quick. That's the thing, right? It's the quick part.
Yeah.
So I know we already did the intro, but we're still kind of cold opening. I spilled milk all over my keyboard.
I saw that.
Joe, did you see that?
No.
I gotta
can't
send
look
that
at
picture.
it now.
Yeah, you can.
Nobody ever gets to make fun of me for spilling water on my keyboard again. So
this should go. You should put this in the episode right now.
Yeah.
As if I didn't give you enough work to do.
Davy's
in the
about to buy
podcast.
me
Yeah,
that
take
Chase Briscoe first win diecast at this rate.
Yeah.
I know you can't look at it, but I put it in there.
No, I'll look
That's-
at
you
it.
can-
I can look at it on the phone.
Okay, that's good. You're gonna love it. I didn't spill it, to be fair. To be
that a-
fair.
Is that a Razer keyboard?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I've spilled on mine like 4 times and it's still working, so you're still good.
My N key, and my J key are a little stiff. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, my 4 key stick's still really bad. And the P key is starting to die on mine, and also I have the LEDs on 3 of them that are starting to go out, so it might be time for a replacement.
Yeah, I think I need to just go ahead and cop a mechanical keyboard. But no, I didn't spill it, to be fair. We were watching F1, and Weaver said something funny, and I was eating a bowl of cereal. And so it just kind of fell out all over my keyboard and my desk.
Oh my god. Proud of you.
It was a fun Sunday. Very fun Sunday.
Yeah.
But
It was a fun sports weekend for me, just saying.
fun. It was a decent sports weekend for me. Minus the cup race. Decent sports weekend.
Just putting this out there. My university keeps kicking butt in athletics. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it wasn't that great for me. So
That sucks.
yeah.
Well, let's get into it then.
Let's get into it then. Let's do it. It's the Fake Racers podcast. This is what we do.
We get into things, and first we're going to start with Atlanta, because we always start with NASCAR and we always end with NASCAR because bookending things.
Are we getting into it?
We are.
Call us Doja Cat. It's the Fake Racers podcast.
Let's start with the main event. Yesterday's Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. William Byron takes home the checkered flag. He won stage 1. Ryan Blaney wins a disastrous stage 2 for a lot of drivers.
Yeah.
Let's start with a big thing that got talked about a lot during the race, and I saw a lot of people saying Goodyear sucks for some reason. Chevrolet and their camber problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
Go ahead.
A lot of the Chevy teams tried pushing the envelope a little too far, so
It's on the rear
But-
camber as well, yeah?
yeah.
That's something that I guess teams will have to work on because that's a new adjustment, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
weren't able to adjust the camber in the rear before the independent.
Yeah. So that's just something that they're going to have to work on. Like, it makes
Yeah.
sense that we would see some problems. You would think, is this something they can work on during a pit stop, or?
I don't think so. I
Yeah.
think you're kind of
feels
stuck
like it
with
would-
what you got. Or else you'd be losing a lot of time.
Yeah, I feel like it is one of those adjustments that you really can't do on a pit stop unless
Oh.
you.
Because
Or
then
like-
you can put your car outside of tolerances, right? Because you're building your whole setup probably around that. You're talking camber, talking
Yeah.
about grip.
Oh
and
yeah.
It sounds
Yeah,
like
you can't.
a lot of teams were really worried about not having enough grip as the race went on, which I'm assuming that's why they went there, get themselves more rear grip, especially off the right
Uh-huh.
rear. People need to realize that Goodyear tells these teams that, hey, don't do this, and then the teams, they always do it. And this time they actually got bit by it. I always
Yeah.
go back to the first time I really remember it being like really out there was the first Eldora truck race. And Goodyear's like, don't run these tires under 18 pounds pressure. And teams were running like 8. So,
Yep.
Coolio. But yeah, so it was mainly a Chevy problem, and that's what Goodyear's lead engineer was talking about in the media center during the race and stuff. And it wasn't trying to figure out I forget what the wording they used, but it wasn't like it wasn't a failure of the tire due to the tire being bad. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because it was all some of the smaller Chevy teams, so they were all probably sharing setup notes like
it was
that
the
we've heard.
RCR Chevy teams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it was Ross, it was Reddick, and then
Stenhouse.
Stenhouse is technically more Hendrick aligned. So
Yeah.
it was a Chevy teams, and they've kind of Jeff Gordon, which by the way, Jeff Gordon, good job. I was very nervous, and because I definitely did not like him in the booth the last couple of years, and it felt pretty good. He did a good job. I was
It's
very
fun. Yeah.
very happy. But anyways, yeah. So he mentioned that too, how all the Chevy teams kind of probably knew that was going to be an issue. If one had an issue, the others would probably have the issue as well.
Right.
Yeah.
It's yeah, that's a fun thing.
Crashes, hard crashes.
Yeah, there's a lot of them towards the end of that.
Yeah,
It's a
this
super
kind of folds
speedway.
into what I was saying, like with all the hard crashes. Like when there's hard crashes and there's like a common theme, and it's not like a driver, everyone rushes to blame the thing. And I was debating on saying it, but like it must be like pretty difficult to be a tire manufacturer in motorsports because you're making the tire, excuse me, making the tire that the sanctioning body asks you to make most of the time. So
And the sanctioning
like,
body doesn't want that tire to go for 500 miles like
No.
you
No.
want it to be.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, it's not like this wasn't even about that either. So it's just like I saw people, I always see people go after Goodyear when stuff like that happens. It's like let's wait, let's see what's actually happening first. You know, just yeah.
Look at how we didn't have tire failures up until like last year. Then we started having tire failures again because NASCAR went away from the high downforce on some tracks. And then on those tracks where they went away from it, we saw tire failures because Goodyear was actually able to build themselves a tire that was a little bit closer to the edge because and this is what this leads right into the hard wrecks that we saw this weekend. When you have a mile and a half and you're running full throttle through a corner and you have these tight confines, you're opening yourself up to have these hard hits for these drivers, and you don't want that. So if Goodyear can alleviate that by building a harder tire that doesn't wear as much, they're going to do that because of all the forces that are being put on these cars. And that's honestly why I see this as an issue with the camber and just too much force probably on that right rear tire. You saw the bumps coming off of 2 was awful.
Ooh, yeah.
it was fun to watch, but man, that must have been terrifying. Yeah, some hard crashes, especially at the end. I know Bubba Wallace seemed like he was a little shaken up. He said that was the hardest hit he's had. Austin Dillon, when he got turned into the wall, or arrowed into the wall, I don't know if we ever saw conclusive evidence of if Kyle hit him or not. When Denny put Larson into the wall, just like he yelled at Brad about doing in the 500, thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say, because I mentioned it during the Clash, the next gen car is ridiculously tough.
Yeah.
Because Ross hammered the wall and still finished second. And then Tyler Reddick straight up hit the wall head on and kept going.
Corey LaJoy flew through the air in the infield, finished 5th, like insane. No, I noticed that too. I noticed a couple instances where cars, bounced up and off the wall, and they were, obviously some cars took harder hits than others, but some of these cars were mostly fine. I was like, what? I took cars out of my fantasy lineup for that. Like, what are you doing?
They've somehow made moderate damage in NR into a real life thing.
Well, they made an hour mile and a half into a real thing too, right?
Oh my god.
That too.
Racing, man.
Well, let's talk about for the Cup racing, because I think all 3 races were different this past weekend.
They all had their own quirks.
Yeah. So the Cup race, since that's where we've kind of started here, was definitely the one, in my opinion, that was the most like Daytona Talladega, right? Yeah. I think that's fair. A lot of side-by-side racing. I saw a lot of people like upset that the track's so narrow that drivers couldn't get things going, and I understand that, but also Daytona Talladega, usually 95% of the race you only have 2 lanes anyways.
Yeah.
Still a valid point. I'm trying to be nice.
It is also moderately illusioned by the fact that Atlanta is like shorter than the rest of Daytona and stuff, because Daytona is as wide as Atlanta right now. So it is like a little bit of like
it's the radius of the corner that's the bigger issue.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to say. Is because
is.
The corners are the same width as Daytona, but since the radius is so much sharper, you really don't have as much room to go 3 wide.
Right.
And that's why you really only saw 3 wide when like stuff started going wrong and people started scattering.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's
okay. So
it's tough because go ahead.
I'm going to ask this question, and then I think this will give you your chance to give your explanation that I just cut you off so rudely in doing. I apologize.
You're fine. You probably have a better point than I do.
I want what you thought of the racing in terms of racing and in terms of entertainment, because those can be 2 different things. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't.
I'm thinking real quick before I say something.
I was entertained I obviously the entire time I was watching it, I knew I was like, it's kind of artificial, but at the same time, I can imagine that is exactly how people felt when plate racing first became a thing. Because I did tweet about that where I was like, imagine if NASCAR Twitter existed when they first put restrictor plates on the cars.
Yeah.
That said, definitely do agree that there with some of the criticism, but I would say I did enjoy the race, but it was kind of frustrating to watch as a race fan as how the whole field just kind of looked gridlocked for a lot of the time. So it reminded me a lot of that like 2015 to 2017 plate race package where just one guy could get out front and just control the whole field and just kind of stack everybody up.
Yeah, I agree with most of that. It seemed like a really short-sighted idea to I know there's probably a good reason why they did it, but to narrow up the racetrack, because it's like you said, like one car can dictate the field, but it's not like Daytona and Talladega those years where one car dictated the field because it could get out front and it could manipulate the air. It's just the track's narrow. The track is like smaller. It's more compact. It's easier to control those two lanes.
Yeah, you only have 2 lanes to control. You don't need to worry about a third.
There's definitely not going to be a third lane. You're not going to be hung out to dry because it's too risky for the guy behind you. And so I think that killed a little bit of it. It's I thought that the race was fine. I think it needs tweaking. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that looks like. I didn't love it. I didn't absolutely adore it. Maybe as the surface gets older, it might be a little more fun. But it needs tweaking. I'm trying to figure out if I was entertained by it, and I guess it was okay. Again, I just we shouldn't do it. We shouldn't do it anywhere else.
Oh yeah. We'll get into that.
It should be if that's going to happen with Atlanta, that should be Atlanta's thing.
Right.
Yeah. It's like the Charlotte Roval.
Yep.
That should be their thing.
We'll get into that here once we talk about these other races in Atlanta this weekend. But you see it? You see that big dreaded phrase that people don't like and I don't think understand completely. But I was entertained, and I see a lot of folks posting that this isn't motorsport, and people in general need to be careful when they talk in hyperbole like that. Right?
Yeah, I hope they say the same thing about Daytona and Talladega.
It's not even that.
And IROC.
It's when you talk in such absolutes, you have completely shut off anyone to be able to feel like they can have a conversation with you to try to sway your mind. It doesn't mean like you can't say to yourself, well, this is my opinion, I'm not going to change it. Like you can still say that to yourself, but yeah, I saw a lot of people saying like, "Oh, well, I'm being like people. Oh, I can't have a negative opinion." It's like, no, you can, but you have to be really careful with how you construct that negative opinion. Was it old Atlanta? No, it never was going to be. It wasn't going to be if we gave them all the horsepower and the small spoiler. It wasn't going to be if they kept the track the exact same. You weren't going to get last year's Atlanta. You weren't going to get 2001 Atlanta. You weren't going to get all these older iterations of this racetrack.
2003 Atlanta.
You're not going to get those things.
Yeah.
At least not now. And I was entertained for 4 hours. I also had March Madness on, so there's that. So full attention was not on the race, but I don't know. I thought it was entertaining. It's probably going to be better in the summer when it's only 400 miles because it definitely did feel a little long.
Oh my God, it dragged on, bro.
But
I will say
all the races seemed to drag on this past weekend. So
yeah, the race, it had kind of like a classic Coke 600 feel because it was an attrition race and you had a lot of weird dudes up front at the end of it, and also it took forever.
And it was stage 2. It was just stage 2 is so long.
That race was literally like perfect for, I put it on in the background and I just drew for like 5 hours, and then I was like, oh, we're still going, all right, I finished this drawing, we're in the final 100 laps, let's go, now time to pay attention.
Yeah, that was basically how it was. I was like, I had a headache after watching all the races in soccer that day, so I took like a small nap and I woke up and stage 3 still hadn't started yet. I was like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, when stage 2 ended, I was like, oh my God. That was the only time I really felt the length. And like, I like longer kind of endurance races like that, but it definitely, stage 2 did drag on really long.
Yeah.
I like the way that the cars seemed to be able to get runs. The fact that we didn't see anyone throwing any like blocks. Made me a little more confident. We talked about this last year about like drivers taking their own safety into their hands and not doing silly things late in races, and we didn't really see anyone throw any really like bad blocks as we Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Matt Bennett, all these drivers have thrown awful blocks in the last year and a half.
When they got strung out single file, it did have like a really old school plate race feel to it. How you saw Ross Chastain kind of pulling those slingshots to take the lead.
Yep.
Yeah.
So. And that was promising, right? Guys were able to make passes.
Like we said, there were like there were cool moments. It had its moments, and for the most part, I like those moments were really cool. It was the moments when they were gridlocked, like Matt said, where I was like, this is just why.
Yeah.
There's 200 more laps of this. What are we doing? Like, this is just a lot.
Yeah, and the major problem too is they've built themselves into a corner with this now, because it's hard to imagine how they're going to make this not a plate race, and you can't make it wider. So, and it's you just spent millions of dollars on this repave, so it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So,
yeah,
we
can talk about that in a bit, or let's talk about it now.
They kind of created the opposite of Texas. It's like two extremes. Yeah.
The thing that I really liked about this, the way they went about this, is it seems like a lot of thought was put into the racing over the next 3 years as to the racing long term. Where some of these other projects, it seems like they really were banking on people sticking around for 3 to 4 years. Michigan has not been like it was since the repave. Pocono's the same way. Kansas is the same way. Texas is a whole different beast. Kentucky could never get back to decent racing, but that's a whole different beast. They reprofiled it.
Yeah.
So the way I saw this going this weekend, and I see this track going over the next couple of years, is this what we saw. And as the track wears away, this feels like a track that they'll go to and they'll test every winter.
Right.
To figure out what kind of package they want to bring to it for the next season. Because I feel like it can get to an intermediate. I mean, Kurt Busch after the race was like, "Yeah, I wish they gave us all our power." So, it tells me they can race with all the power now. I don't think it puts on an entertaining race.
Right.
And I know, I want to save that. Just want to save that just a little bit. Just kick it down the road. So, real quick, Ty Gibbs wins the Xfinity race. Xfinity race was a cluster.
Yep.
We agree there.
All that for a Ty Gibbs win.
Oh my god.
Ryan Sieg cost himself, man, so bad.
Yeah, and I saw people saying how great the move Ty Gibbs made was, and it was a good move, but I mean, Ryan Sieg, obviously I'm on the couch, right? Whatever. But I'm going to talk about it. This is what I like to talk about. Ryan Sieg, all he had to do was down the front stretch, commit to the bottom. Ty Gibbs has to do a lot more work up on the top. You have the bottom. You have a preferred line, at least for that point. Like for that little bit of time on corner entry, the bottom is superior to the top. Then you're gonna have to drag race him down the back, and that's a different story. But you're Ryan Sieg, and you don't like Ty Gibbs. You just wash him up a little bit. I feel like there was a way Ryan Sieg wins that race pretty easily. Definitely a bit of a weak block, if he even was trying to do that. I don't know, but.
He's got to be on eggshells too with NASCAR and them saying, don't go at him. So he's probably got that in the back of his head. But
that, and
I agree.
He's not been in that position a lot of times too.
Exactly. So. No, definitely no fault of his. He's never had to race for a win like that. So
yeah,
it makes sense that he didn't know the move or didn't have that foresight.
Yeah. On the opposite end of the spectrum, are we good with Xfinity?
Yeah, I mean, it was a cluster at the end of it. It was fun, I guess. I don't know.
Fine race. It was a fine race.
I was just mad because I watched like all 4 JRM cars get taken out one clean sweep, so that was fun.
That was a lot.
Xfinity race, if they gave the Cup cars their power or gave them the smaller spoiler, the Xfinity race is what you would have saw this past weekend. You still would have saw a pack. I mean, until this track wears out, you're going to see pack racing like we saw.
Mm-hmm.
The trucks, which everyone, after the truck race, I was very worried about Sunday, but I was, pleasantly surprised because the truck race was bad. I kind of chalked that up to a lot of inexperience by most of those drivers on super speedways in the first place, and then a lot of inexperience on mile and a half. So Mix those on up, and you have an experience.
Yeah, I want to give a special shout out to Matt DiBenedetto when he was in practice and they were asking why he was struggling, and he said he's like, I want to put myself in some bad situations just to see what to do. And then he did that exactly in the race by putting the car in the wall on lap 1 and then losing 14 laps. So good job, Matt. Career revival going great.
Has had
Also-
2 top 10s to start the year, so I mean, let's listen. I know we don't like the guy, or you don't like the guy.
I'm kind of just invested on, like, I just want to see where this goes, but I thought that was really funny. Also, a scary moment for Haley Deegan. Glad she's okay.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah, but she
actually
should have
really
given an
scary.
interview after the infield care center. Come on.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, honestly.
Why'd
Why'd she block me on Twitter?
Yeah. I talked to her one time. Now she has me blocked on Twitter because I said she needs to finish more in the top 10.
Can I...
Brother, what?
So
I don't know if I can make this joke, so Joe, you may have to bleep this out, but shout out to that guy that asked if her feet were okay after the crash, or after the fire. So.
My name's Johto. I don't care about feet.
Okay. We're good then.
Oh my god.
But Corey Heim wins. Good for him.
Oh my god. That finish was a farce.
John
KBM
Hunter.
drama.
John Hunter.
That was so annoying.
Someone pointed out the fact, like, I mean, John Hunter's got to race Chandler Smith for a championship, right? Doesn't have to race Corey Heim for a championship, so.
Still, lap cars should not be up there. I'm not going to advocate for blue flags, but get the hell out of the pack. It's ridiculous.
I'm looking at you, Weaver.
Oh
Costing me a race in the past because you were a lap car and you pushed that guy right there. Again, not going to advocate for blue flags universally, but in that situation, NASCAR should be on the radio and be like, get the 4 out of the lead pack.
What is everyone's problem with blue flags exactly?
I don't know. It's because Ryan Newman stands are mad because that's the only thing he's good at is blocking lead lap cars. So
that's a kickable thing that you just said.
Don't at me. I'm right. I'm literally right.
You're right. You're right. Absolutely. I'm like I saw this blue flag slander, and it's not that I care. It's not that I care. I don't. Whatever. No blue flags, fine with me. But I just want to know why people hate it so much. That makes a lot more sense.
I have mixed feelings on blue flags. Because
Racing.
Yeah, I think I don't have a problem with a lapped car doing their own thing. Like, for example, I hate the blue flag rules in Supercross where lapped riders are just expected to just pull over and slow down and let leaders by. I hate that. But at the same time, I hate watching Ryan Newman hold up people trying to run away with the lead at the end of a race because his pride's too big to get out of the way. Get out of the way. You're affecting the race.
So,
dude.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword because you tell them to get out of the way and then you get a caution real quick and they would have put up a fight. They're still on the lead lap late in the race.
Yeah.
And we all know how that works. I think it's harder in NASCAR just because of the ease that guys can go a lap down.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot longer, so then just to give it up like that might...
Wasn't John Hunter like 4 laps down?
He was two
It's
two
not
down,
a John Hunter argument, but like...
But I'm just saying in this situation...
it's
not like he's fighting for his lap back, per se. He's 2 down, or 4 down, or 3 down.
The worst part was, though, what he was third in line coming to the white flag?
Yeah.
Like... And he's got 2 teammates in front of him. Like, I just see that as being teamwork. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
we applauded Ross Chastain for doing it last year, right at Atlanta, and But
it's mostly because I don't like Kyle Busch, but.
But then in the spring we said bad Joey Logano because he did it to Larson and Blaney won. So
if I'm being honest, it annoyed me both times, but.
Good. I'm not talking about just you.
Yeah. I don't know. It's frustrating, especially the fact that he also then directly influenced who won the race. That especially left a bad taste in my mouth, where it was like, from a team standpoint, yes, it makes all the sense in the world. You know, you want to make sure one of your trucks wins, but for Chandler Smith, you're like, why am I the one getting the short end of the stick all the time? You know?
Yeah.
So it was dumb. Just get out of the lead pack. So
yeah, I gotta agree.
Corey Heim wins truck race with help.
I was
from
also
teammate
I was also mad that when John Hunter forced his way into line in 30, forced Stuart Friesen out of the pack and sent him all the way back. And I was like, cool, there goes my investment in this race. So,
but you still watched to the end because there was only like 10 laps left.
Yeah, I hate watching at that point.
I'm gonna say the scary phrase, guys. Cover your ears.
No.
Sports entertainment.
God.
Oh no, I covered these are open backs, so I covered them and they were even louder.
So Marcus Smith, I believe it's an interview with Jordan Bianchi. I didn't get a chance to read it because I think he's on The Athletic, and yeah. Pay for your journalism, but just I'm cheap. Anyways,
Yeah.
and I give you free journalism, so
It's true.
not good journalism and not really journalism, but it's free. Remember that.
No.
Marcus Smith kind of talked about how they are in the sports entertainment business. Marcus Smith, president or high up, whatever, I forget, I don't know what his exact job title is, at the company that owns multiple racetracks. Discuss.
I mean, what is there? What?
People up in arms over it. Yes.
I have a bone to pick with the people who are up in arms about it.
All right, go ahead, pick your bone.
So I agree to an extent, yes, that people will be like, well, this is supposed to be a motorsport, not entertainment. All sports are entertainment. That's what they're for. I know what they're trying to get at is that sports should have some integrity, but athletes are literally entertainers. So he's not wrong. I understand why people have a problem with the semantics of what he's saying, but the outrage over just taking what he said literally, like, what do you think sports are? What historical relevance or like world political relevance does football or NASCAR have? It doesn't. It's entertainment.
Yeah, and it's kind of I agree with that. I think it's also telling that these are the same people who are also saying stuff like that's not racing, that's not motorsport, where like you're not allowing for any nuance in your discussion, in your argument, and in your statements. I feel like there's a lot of nuance when it comes to discussing what's sports and what's entertainment and where the divide is, what the split is on the two, and on top of that, it's subjective, right? Like everyone's got a different opinion on what they think is exciting. Some people didn't mind the Atlanta race. Some people thought it was the worst thing ever, and that if you like it, you're dumb. I think those people are absolutely insane and absurd. But
I think they're gatekeeping.
Anyways. I think the gatekeeping.
Yeah. So
you can only like NASCAR if you like boring races.
Yeah, and it's frustrating, and I don't think people understand that. Like, you can complain about a rule making things artificial, but racing in and of itself is artificial. The walls artificially contain all of the cars within the track just in case. You know, the distance that we're going is also artificially decided. Like, I understand there is a limit of where it needs to be drawn, but there is no hard line. Like, we never talk about how artificial the bonus points for leading laps are, because they've always just been around since we've all been watching. And it's one of those things that I realized when I used to complain about the playoffs all the time, and I still do because I don't like the playoff format, but I was like, how come I've never complained about that? Because that is just as arbitrary as stage points. You know?
Yeah.
So Marcus Smith is not wrong. This is sports entertainment because all sports is entertainment.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you have to try to provide and everyone hates when this word's used, but they have to try to provide the best product to be consumed by the people who want to consume it. And if we hype up this big repave and we put on a Atlanta race that, you know, at the very least you can call this past Atlanta race kind of like a spectacle. I mean, it was ridiculous to see what was happening. It was different, it was unique, it was new. At the very least, you watched because of that. If we put on a stinker Atlanta race for the first race after the repave with the new car,
the same
Atlanta
people
has just
would be
lost.
Complaining.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the sport just lost all its momentum from the previous races. Whereas at least I feel like we are rolling still on that momentum heading into COTA.
Yeah, we're going to lose it this week when it rains, though.
Yeah, obviously.
That's the next doomer thing. Yeah, it's Fox stopped showing Martin Truex and Cole Custer's wreck from last year. Come on, Fox. Anyways, that's a different argument for another day. But
oh boy.
There's a lot of things you could say about Fox's decisions. So about what they chose to show this week.
Let's get into that after I finish this statement or finish this little topic up. the racetracks themselves are in the entertainment business, and they have a sporting event on them. There has been this push for these racetracks to camping. Like MIS is a freaking campground all year long now, because that's how they can make money. And now you take a race away from them, it has to be entertaining when the race is there. You have all these concerts, right? You have all these things that are kind of becoming supplements of the race, to where they're becoming more of the event, and then the race just goes on. We're gonna see that probably this weekend in Coda. Like, that's been a big thing. Think about the Indianapolis 500. There's a freaking concert going on during the entire race in the Snake Pit. Like, I mean, if you want to make, and it goes back to the whole thing about, is it racing, and people making inflammatory statements and being so definite in what they're saying and not allowing for any discourse, and then saying, well, no, you're not allowing me to have discourse. No, you can't set up an argument in the way that you do, because you're setting it up in a way that I can't argue with you.
Yeah, saying something is bad or dumb is not constructive or anything. That doesn't leave any ground for discussion.
You're not offering anything to the table by saying that it's bad and you're dumb if you think it was good.
And it doesn't mean that those people are even trying to do that at that point, too. They're just, some people like to see the little likes go up, but that's a different thing for another day. I like it, too. Makes me feel good. But it's just
serotonin.
Right? The tracks are in the sports entertainment business. The tracks themselves, NASCAR, to a degree, the teams are really the only ones that are in a sporting business, right? Matthew, here's a great example. Yeah. The NFL. The NFL itself, is it in the sports entertainment business or the sports business?
It's obviously sports entertainment.
And what are the teams in the business of? The teams themselves, not...
Yeah, they would be sport then.
Take the general manager down, not like operations, not...
Yeah. I mean, a perfect example is like the New England Patriots built a dynasty off of boring football. They don't care if you're entertained. So,
but the NFL does. Like,
yeah,
and that's the thing. So, getting lost in what Marcus Smith said is the fact that he's a track owner. He's been at the helm of some pretty bad things, Texas. But now he's kind of brought on some. I mean, the Bristol Dirt Race, love it, hate it, it's different. And it got more people to show up to Bristol in the spring than we've had in recent years. And that's his job. They're leading a revitalization on North Wilkesboro to hopefully get a truck race there in a few years. Like, it's so frustrating. They took Kentucky off the schedule. Like,
woo, yeah.
Yeah, they took Kentucky off the schedule because it wasn't entertaining.
Yeah. And like, and that's the thing. So, if this, and I'm sure Steve Phelps and some of these other guys that sometimes say silly things have come out and said that, we're in the sports entertainment business. And again, to a degree, NASCAR is. The teams are in the sport business. And even the teams themselves. Look at, what is it, Racing America? The new website that they have that was part of Speed 51, or that was Speed 51. At this point, really, the drivers are the only ones that are in the sport, and the pit crews, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So much has gone into this digital age where we're trying to make things consumable, and you see I'm going on a tangent now, and I'm going to stop after this last point.
You're good. It's relevant.
Same people that are arguing for NASCAR to make a Drive to Survive are also the ones that don't like when we say NASCAR's in sports entertainment. So, I don't know. That's where got to make the same arguments constantly, and I'm guilty of it too, but this past weekend was just a perfect example. Do you remember last year, I think our good buddy Ryan Pace made a good point about saying all the people that said the Bristol Dirt Race was going to be bad thought it was bad, all the people that said give it a chance it might be good thought it was good. So people went into this weekend thinking it was going to be bad. Not everyone that ended up thinking it was bad, but a lot of the folks that thought it was going to be bad, it's bad.
It's kind of almost like that's just how life works, that if you go into something thinking it's going to suck, it's probably going to suck. Like, if you go into work every day being like, man, I hate my job, you're probably going to have a terrible day.
Yeah.
So.
But It is what it is. But you know what? If you're having a bad, were we going to talk? Oh, Fox's coverage. That was the other thing that I didn't have on our note sheet.
Yeah.
Real quick,
Yeah.
I understand we don't like all the kids and stuff, but holy crap, there are a lot of cautions. What else do you want them to show?
More replays of the same thing so you can crap about how bad the replays are? I thought that was the dumbest thing. And also, real quick, I know this doesn't really need to be said, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you were saying something weird about the children being shown on the broadcast, number one,
You're making it weird.
It's clearly not for you. It's for people with children to see, oh, they brought their children to a NASCAR race. I should bring my children to a NASCAR race. Or for the kids to say, hey, look, there are kids at a NASCAR race. I want to go to a NASCAR race. If you said something weird, you're the weirdo. You're the weird person.
It's like
Why
when I
are
see
you
people,
saying that?
Davey, it's like the same argument as when I see people like way too invested in like Paw Patrol. I'm like, you're like 28.
Dude,
That show's made for 4-year-olds, dude.
dude.
Like, I thought it was really annoying how they kept showing kids, but I thought it was just more funny than it was like disturbing.
Yeah,
it's
and
like
also,
because
like,
it's stupid and it doesn't matter.
it's like, yeah, whatever, it's kids. Like it's also they're using it to go to commercial. Oh no.
Yeah.
What do you oh my god. And then anyone who said anything weird, I wanted to block you. If you said anything weird at all, I wanted to block you. It's just disgusting.
Show
Weird.
more fans during F1 races, though, please.
Oh yeah, F1 fans are great.
More F1 fans. That's all right. We're good with
I,
that.
I will say,
No, the
crowning
joke being,
achievement,
again, it's like,
crowning moment of Fox's camera work this week was during the truck race when there was a big wreck and Lawless Allen spun, and they just hyper zoomed in on his right rear tire. And nothing, like there's like 8 trucks spinning, and they're like,
So,
okay, but what about Lawless Allen's right rear tire, you guys? Isn't that sick?
That is Fox again going for all these like awards they get every year about like great cinematography and stuff because they like win it every year.
Remember like 6-7
So
years ago when they came up with that super zoom slow cam and it would like show a spin from an angle and then it would hyper zoom in somewhere like really blurrily to like the quarter panel. It's like what? Show the wreck, please. I don't care. I know it's cool. Like it's cool. I want to see the wreck.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
Your whole job as a broadcaster is to show me the view or something. I swear to God, I think I tweeted this exact thing. Watching a race on Fox feels like you're watching a NASCAR race through a keyhole. Like you never feel like you're seeing everything.
Or there were the folks that I think it was during the Cup race. There was an incident off of 4, and the camera guy at the end of the front stretch just kept following the leaders, and people were freaking out over that. It's like you realize there's like 6 other cameras probably tracking that, right? Like you can only you can't switch the camera. It's like you can't.
Yeah. Just, I'm so sick of the hyper zooms when there's crashes. Like, do the exact opposite thing so we can see more stuff. Like, yes, it looks cool. Have your separate film team do stuff that's not for the live broadcast, and then you can make your really cool NFL film style stuff afterwards. You know, or show it when you're going to commercial. Show the really cool cinematic.
Yeah, instead of the random fan.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
But
oh my god.
Anyways, Jeff Gordon did good in the booth this weekend. And then they also made a joke about a Hendrick car winning when he was in the booth, so I thought that was funny. I appreciated that. And then the little Baby Yoda shirt was kind of funny too, but
that was pretty funny. People had a problem with it.
Clint Blair put his foot in his mouth and it was hilarious. Anyways.
Yeah.
Need more of that.
Do you need to put some new clothes on yourself this year? Well, guess what? Head on over to the JTM merch store now. You can get yourself some hoodies, t-shirts, and much, much more. You can also get yourself a JTN mug. Hopefully it arrives in perfect mint condition. It's got the JTN logo on one side and the Fake Racers logo on the other. We do not, here at JTN, take any responsibility for your products being damaged upon arrival. That is a spring thing, and we apologize if that happens, like it did to Davey.
I have a great Fake Racers podcast, JTN Cup.
I am actively looking into some different solutions.
Actually, I should show this sticker because John watches the show, but I'll show it after the ad read. So,
but you can get all those stickers that you see on Matt's surface there. You can get these cups. You can get hoodies, t-shirts, hats. Not hats, t-shirts. We got some other cups. These mugs though, like the printing is really good on them.
It is a nice quality
That's why
mug.
I'm very disappointed that Davey's...
Shame about the handle, but
Yeah.
great quality mug.
I actually dropped mine today, and it's still fine. No cracks or anything.
I am so mad. Why'd you even tell me that? Are you kidding me?
We had a really good joke about the mug on Disqualified this week, so
I'm gonna watch just for
Yeah.
that. Even though I showed up for
It's
like
great.
2 seconds.
We did make it
It's
good. Joe was
you're on the
Joe
you were
was
there.
on Disqualified officially.
But
What do you mean you'll have to watch? You were there.
Speaking of disqualified, I had the first F1 GP of the year, Bahrain. Ferrari was quick. Red Bull was quick. Mercedes was third. McLaren was slow.
Yep.
McLaren was bad.
Vintage 2016
Freaking
form.
Aston Martin is evil. Haas was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. Shout out to
Pretty cool.
our boy K Mag.
Dude,
5th place on his first race in what,
Dude,
2 years?
What Haas goes
went
as
from
Ferrari does, right?
Haas went from I like them to I hate them to I like them, and all it took was international conflict.
Yeah.
And that's as close to that topic as we will get here tonight.
Yeah.
Bristol
What
literally
an
just came in, so
That's the hilarious thing about that though, is like you look at Mick Schumacher was the better of the two drivers, obviously, last year, and he finished 11th. And it's like, man, imagine if they didn't have Magnussen in the car. They probably still wouldn't have scored points this week.
well, no,
Third
'cause-
in constructors. Haas is. I know it's race 1. I just think it's
Yeah.
so cool. It's nice to have a Haas team that I can like again.
Yeah.
Is it really? You know,
So
it's good stuff. Good stuff. Absolutely good stuff. The Red Bull situation. Wow.
Apparently,
Yeah.
it's a spec piece that went bad on both cars. That's kind of funny.
Ooh, that's rough.
Ooh.
That's
Yeah.
rough. Hey, Sebastian Vettel scored as many points as McLaren and Red Bull, and he wasn't even at the track. Combined, both of them, same amount of points. He wasn't even there.
oh my god.
Just goes to show how good he is. You know?
I agree.
I want to give a shout out to our boy Darren Ingram, who said that McLaren was going to be constructors titles this year about 6 months ago. So
Darren
and
with
now
them
they're
Weaver
in
takes.
they're in prime 2015 form again. So that's pretty cool.
God, I missed that 2015 red and black monstrosity that was slower than sin.
Yeah.
Whew. It's back though, baby, just an orange.
I will say their livery is pretty ugly this year too. So
Yeah. It's I mean, I kind of like it.
the colors are nice, but it just looks like random. It reminds me a lot of like a mid 90s back marker car where they were just like, just put random colored spots.
That's what we like though. I like
Yeah,
that.
true. Okay, yeah, actually, yeah.
I like that. I think it's kind of cool. I think it looks good. And plus they're a back marker, so it's good.
Yeah, it fits right in.
It fits right in.
So
Ferrari 1-2, yeah, baby. Ooh, Forza Ferrari, guys, ragazzi, yay.
hopefully Sainz finally gets that first win.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah,
Hope so. I like Carlos.
he deserves one by now. So
That's our Formula One talk. Just casually talking about Formula One.
For the
That's
views.
the best way to talk about Formula One.
Because
No
now,
Speaking
drama
of
this
casually,
week.
now you can put
I was
F1 and Twitter and stuff. So
yeah. Speaking of casually talking about F1 though, a little show called Disqualified's back. So
after
Blame
a 2-month
Tommy.
hiatus,
yeah,
Blame Tommy. Blame Tommy.
Yep, blame Tommy.
Blame Tommy.
And nobody else. Definitely only Tommy's fault.
Mhm.
Um,
I
Agreed.
feel like that's not very fair. Maybe he'll have to come on the show next week to.
yeah.
We're
Well,
almost
I'm
at
sure.
1,000 subs. So
Yeah, get us to 1,000 subs, and Tommy can come on here and defend his honor. So
that's not going to happen.
Tommy
He's
might be
gonna
coming
lose.
on here to do other things besides defend his honor with the way my week next week's going to be. But
That's fine.
I digress.
That's fine. We hold it down.
Yeah, no, you
We
do.
get a little rowdy, but we hold it down.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone who's listening to this knows that in the middle of that Tommy episode, I went and took a poop. And we
Oh, I
just
forgot- I
spliced
haven't
it together.
uploaded that yet.
Yeah, there's the B-roll.
I have the
Oh my
unspliced.
god.
I have the uncut footage still sitting on my desktop.
Oh my god. You
2,000
do,
subscribers.
Yeah, I think I was gonna put that on my channel, but I never did.
Well, I would
Oh,
do it.
I brought my
Yeah.
microphone with me into the bathroom. It's not that gross. It's not as gross
Yeah.
as it sounds, but I just have a wireless headset and I didn't want to miss anything, so I just took
It was
the
a weird
boys with
episode.
me.
You guys really got me wanting to cut stuff tonight.
Well, hey, it's incentive to get to 1,500 or 2,000 or whatever you said subscribers so they can
Yeah.
see the uncut footage.
500 here on JTN too. How about that?
Ooh, I like that.
There we
Pretty
go.
attainable.
That's attainable. We'll have to
B-roll
put a not
footage of
safe for
Davey
work
going
tag.
poop.
We'll have to do a not safe for work tag. Maybe I can. Maybe at a if we manage to get 750 for because of 75 on JTN2, I'll do a drunk stream on JTN2.
You literally could have just said 75 because we're still below that. So
What are we at?
52.
Oh, that's too
we
close.
can't do a 51 thing for me. All right, if somebody unsubscribes,
We are at 51.
I'm doing it.
Anyways, don't unsubscribe because you're gonna want to watch Disqualified
Yes,
coming
please
out
don't.
this week.
Yes.
Episode
it'll probably be
31.
up by the time you see it. So
Yeah, so go check that out. Hopefully these guys advertise it like they did the first one.
Well, I thought the second one was a little more of a stinker, so I think this one was good though. This one was pretty good.
They're all great.
This one was good.
see, how
Dude, we recorded that second one. It was like late, and I was tired.
yeah.
I'm sure it was good, but like my memory of it isn't great, and so
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I feel like I was a bit. Oh damn it! That was actually a mistake. That was actually a total mistake.
I will say I didn't mix up the audio mixing this time. So the Eurobrun episode, I accidentally did the audio with my computer speakers. So then when I wore my headphones, listened to it at work, the music was way too loud.
Joe, I'm
So-
so sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't mean to that time. That was a mistake. The first two earlier today were real, but that one
Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't. Dang.
Anyways, watch Disqualified.
Thank you.
From one open wheel series to another, Texas IndyCar. Joseph Newgarden last lap pass. Round the outside.
Round
In
the
turns
outside.
3 and 4 on Scott McLaughlin. I didn't know whether to be sad or happy. I ended up deciding on happy. Like Joseph
So-
Newgarden.
I unfortunately missed the race. So what was going on with McLaughlin? Because I've seen the finish, but like, why was Newgarden running him down so quickly?
Lap traffic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the traffic decided
Yeah.
to run right in his lane in 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Plus Scotty Mack hasn't been in a position to win on an oval ever before, so he probably took the safe route of sending to the bottom, hoping the lap car wouldn't be there.
And
Lap
the
car was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Joseph Newgarden had a big send to lane up in the PJ1, got it to hook up, got around him. It was very impressive by Joseph, but definitely a lack of experience on Scotty Mack that lost him that race.
Jimmy Jam gets top 10. Davey's really happy.
Yeah.
Come on! Get in!
Should have had a top 5 if he was
What's
better.
stuck on his name?
If he was better, he would have finished top 5.
Well, he had to save fuel at the end.
Oh, is that why? Because
Yeah,
I
they're
saw
telling him to save
Dixon
fuel.
get by him and was like,
Yeah,
what the heck,
Dixon-
Jimmy?
Dixie put up a huge gap. Jimmy, they were telling Jimmy to save fuel.
Tell you what, this Jimmy Johnson guy's got. He looks pretty promising. I bet he's got a long
No,
career
he
ahead of him.
doesn't. What do
Good
you
on the
mean?
ovals. You never know. He might end
Yeah.
up at NASCAR eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe
I thought-
drive for someone. I don't know. Maybe a Chevy.
I
team.
wish they would have showed him a little bit more though late. Because like I mean he was moving.
Yeah, and he had a crazy battle with Pagano.
Yeah, and then Pagano
He was back
had
and forth with
issues.
Pagano in the top 5, and then Pagano had the issues after. But yeah,
Yeah,
was
good
good
race
stuff.
for old
it
Jim
was
Jam.
good stuff. Oh
did
man,
did this save
so happy.
Texas? I mean, it was a pretty good race somehow.
it was decent. It was actually a decent race. The first half of that race was a bit of a procession, but most oval races
It
usually
was
are.
pretty good though for. I
For
mean, again,
Texas,
the whole
yes.
race was pretty good for Texas. I mean, there was a lot of passing in the first 10 laps. I mean, I know
Yeah,
the
I
middle
mean,
part of
first
any
10 laps.
IndyCar race kind of gets that way. I mean, the 500
Oh,
is
I
going to be
know.
that way here in a couple months.
Oh,
but-
absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, it's because it's Texas. You know,
Yeah,
like Indy, I don't care when it gets like that because I'm still watching every lap.
right.
Like Indianapolis, every single IndyCar driver will tell you until after the first 400 miles,
you're
You're
riding.
just riding.
You're having
You're
fun.
just getting yourself in position.
Trying to
That's
take
it.
the lead, see what your car's got. If you take the lead,
Mhm.
see if the crowd cheers for you, give you some extra, give you some pump up like Daly last year.
I know some people don't like Connor Daly, but I got goosebumps when the crowd cheered for Connor Daly when he took the lead at Indy last year. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that was
NBC's
awesome.
totally boosting that. It's like no.
That was awesome. No,
Um,
he just has that many fans.
think about
in
it. This
Indiana.
year too, the infield will be packed. So
Yeah.
we didn't have that last year. Ooh,
Hope he didn't blow out the audio.
I don't think he did.
No, you're good. You're far
Cool.
enough away from your mic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, good.
But we do we want to go back to Texas now? Because coming into the weekend, it didn't sound like we were going to go back to Texas. Now it sounds like Roger
It
Penske.
seemed like Yeah,
wants
general
to go back
consensus
to
in the paddock
Texas.
was that it was a successful weekend. So
It
know.
ended up being a pretty decent crowd. It sounds like Texas really wasn't promoting the race, so that's a little troubling.
Heard that stuff. I also heard, and I don't know. We don't have to get into it because we've been going for
No, it's
a
okay.
little.
Keep going. It's
well,
been good.
This kind of also goes back to the Atlanta stuff as well. I've heard a lot this weekend about tracks and facilities.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys saw that stuff.
Had a couple
I did see
LEDs
some of that,
out.
yeah.
Supposedly,
Big Hoss was awful. The Atlanta bathrooms were like disgusting every day, which is disappointing. You know, it's weird for me to see that because I go to, you know,
you go to Daytona.
have the misfortune of I go to Daytona, so I see spotless
Perfect,
bathrooms,
yeah.
absolutely perfect spotless bathrooms when I go to the bathroom, and Charlotte is also pretty good. So like,
Yeah, even Sonoma is in pretty good condition every time I've gone there.
yeah, but apparently Texas as well as Atlanta, both like facilities wise,
We're not good.
not up to snuff, man. I heard like multiple tweets. I saw multiple tweets about it, and that's
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's not surprising, but I don't want to say that it's like the norm either.
Indianapolis. Since I went there this past year and I'd been there before Penske took over. Before Penske took over, it was awful. Like facilities wise, like you had it was pretty much like a glorified outhouse.
Yeah.
You know, like the troughs. Every guy race fan, every sporting event, you know what a trough is and how
I think they were even kind of their own meta meme with Indianapolis in itself.
It was bad.
Like the troughs, yeah.
It was bad. But then going back to this year, I think a couple of the bathrooms, like the bigger ones, still had the troughs, but they weren't like rusty and gross.
Yeah.
Like you'd be okay with peeing in it. You'd be okay with getting that close, but just the facilities upgrade, like MIS, is so hit or miss. Some weekends it can be bad. Some weekends it's good. If you're closer to like the press box, it's a little bit better than if you like go down towards the turns. I was not happy this last year though, but that track president's gone, so hallelujah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Denny Hamlin has been very vocal.
Oh yeah, that's who I saw a lot of it
sometimes
from too.
rightfully so,
Yeah.
sometimes maybe a little off base. Made a good point. If these tracks are taking so much of the revenue from TV, maybe they should have to invest that money back into the track.
Agreed.
Would like to see like Nashville hopefully keep investing into their track if they decide to keep racing there, but I don't know what their plan is with that track now that SMI owns it. I'm trying to think of some other tracks that I've heard bad things about. Like I said, Indy was really bad before Penske, and Penske a lot of money into it, and it is
I've
pristine.
heard a lot. Almost all the SMI tracks
are like that, are bad.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of the SMI tracks.
Was Charlotte bad?
Charlotte actually wasn't bad, but you gotta
that
also
makes
think
sense,
that they're probably taking care of Charlotte. You know,
Yeah,
that's
Charlotte's
the crown jewel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely heard those things before, and like MIS has been good, not always great, but good.
Yeah, it's quite disappointing to hear because, you know, you like that makes a difference. Like you go to any dirt track, and if you go to like one of the good dirt tracks that hosts like a World of Outlaws event, and they got money, and like the bathrooms are clean, like people are showing up. People want to go there. That's a place people want to go. But you go to some crappy dirt track you've never heard of, you're never gonna hear of it.
Yeah.
No one's gonna want to show up. It's the same with like someone who's new to the sport goes to Atlanta this weekend with the facilities as bad as they were, apparently, from what I've heard. I wasn't there, but like that turns them off really quickly. If the bathroom's gross and there's no hook to put your purse on, and you're a lady there with your husband, and like you got to put your purse on the nasty floor, like that's these things all matter. Like all these things matter.
They're
like the racing product is its own thing, but they matter.
Yeah, I think part of it comes down to TV brings in so much money now too. So maybe some of these tracks have kind of lost sight in that.
Yeah.
But like NASCAR has done a really good job with ISC of like the Daytona Rising project, and now out in Phoenix. And I want to see them keep doing that with all these tracks. So that would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool if Michigan, you know, had better updated grandstands. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I implore. I know this is like a If you guys ever make it to Daytona, you will be amazed.
Stadium seating would be nice. Let me
If
just
you
say,
ever went to
bleachers are
Daytona,
not.
if you ever
Michigan really only have bleachers?
Yep,
Oh.
bleachers all the way
Oh my
around.
god.
Metal bleachers
That's awful.
in the middle
Dude,
of the summer.
I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled, bro. I am so spoiled.
Because Charlotte
Daytona's
seats
beautiful.
too, right?
Charlotte seats. Sonoma is literally just like
You have like you're
concrete
carved
steps.
into a hill, right?
Yeah, and
But that's a
instead
road
of
course.
putting in seats, it's just like concrete benches.
Yeah.
So you
Like-
can bring like your own seat or whatever. You can just like stretch out and have all the space to you. It's pretty cool.
Like Indy was bleachers too, but
I feel like you can get away with that at Indy.
you can get away with that in Indy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many seats. They're like, we're not putting all those in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there's a difference between like, you know, like football stadiums, a lot of like college stadiums are bleachers compared to like an NFL stadium where it's seats, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's differences there and stuff that need to be described, but that's disappointing to hear.
That was a fun little. I actually really like that discussion. That was a fun discussion.
You-
Probably about something that not a lot of people talk about.
Yeah. You want to know someone that'll never disappoint you? Hopefully.
What is it, Joe?
CircleByDiecast.com. You're going to use code
Oh my
JTN
God.
at
You
checkout to receive
serious?
free shipping on your order of $20 or more. You can get your Atlanta winners. They got the truck for Corey Heim, the Gibbs Sports Slips car, and then the William Byron University that shall not be named Chevrolet.
Yes, bro.
Yes,
you can
bro.
Yes.
You can get those diecasts now.
Yes, bro.
Any race win diecast from the NASCAR Cup Series this year at CircleByDiecast.com. Remember to use our code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more. Wing
I just
previews.
realized I have a diecast in my mailbox. I got to go get.
Where's
Got
it
delivered
from?
today? Unfortunately, not Circle B. This is I ordered it before I joined the show. So.
Ugh.
But there are ones from Circle B coming soon that I
Yeah,
did get free
that's
shipping
right.
on by using code JTN.
What diecast is in the mail?
It's Alex Bowman's Richmond win.
Sounds
in
like you're
color
making a
chrome.
diecast review.
I might.
You better.
So.
Davey's still got to make his too.
Yeah, I do.
Well, if it sucks, we'll see a return of the Angry Diecast Review series. So
I hope it doesn't suck.
tune in. Yeah, me too. I spent a lot of money on it.
And you got the color chrome, huh?
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia GP is this weekend, 12:55 p.m. Eastern time. So that's kind of cash money.
I
Can-
actually get to watch it.
Yeah, can Mercedes get better?
Hopefully not.
Can Red Bull actually finish the race? Those are the questions.
Red Bull will probably finish the race. Mercedes is going to be probably as fast as they have been the last few seasons, on tracks where the straights aren't as long, because that Bahrain front stretch is really long, and the main problem that they had was the porpoising. It's because of it's like the ground effect stuff, right? The car is going, and as the car is going, the air is like pushing the car down,
So-
and then the ground effects is pushing the car up, and it's just bouncing.
So, from my understanding of it, with my very rudimentary knowledge of aerodynamics, because the whole car is shaped like a wing, so the ground effects suck the car to the ground.
Yeah.
And so it gets pulled down to the ground, but then it gets sucked too low, so it disrupts the airflow, which means it loses that suction, and then it just keeps doing that over and over and over again.
You're right. You're absolutely right. That is exactly what it's doing. So I think that tracks where the straightaways maybe aren't as long, to where they don't get to a speed to where the ground effects push the car down too far, they're probably going to be fine.
The Mercedes
Well,
teams
just
also look a little down on power too, because the Aston and the McLaren both struggled really badly in the speed traps.
That's
So,
also fair. That's
yeah.
also fair. I still think they're going to be quite quick on those other
Yeah,
tracks,
more
though.
than
But any track where there's a long straightaway, I expect them to have the same porpoising and have the same issues with the car that they had in Bahrain, because it took a double Red Bull DNF for and like all this other nonsense to get Lewis on the podium. I mean, obviously, like Lewis, whatever. But
Yeah.
I mean, Mercedes was not anything special. It was not a podium car, end of story, end of.
Yep.
But they can, and they will be better. I just don't know if they're going to get the car improved enough to be as fast as they would like it to be on those tracks where they're going to have the porpoising problems. So,
Yeah.
Joe, how you doing?
Nothing. What?
We were just having a nice big like
Porpoising, yeah.
engineering. It was
Yeah.
all engineering, and you
It
just
was.
ignored it.
Well, because you guys were saying the right things.
Oh, look at us! You could applaud us next time.
Yeah.
I didn't think you guys were 5-year-olds and needed stickers, but here's your sticker. Good job, gold star.
What do you mean you didn't know I needed stickers, Joe?
Get them on the JTN merch store now.
Okay, Joe. Next time you're feeling down, I'll just be like, nah. You're older.
What do you mean I didn't need stickers? I've got all of them. I've got one more around here somewhere. I can't find it.
It'll be fun. I'm gonna try to watch. We'll see if
Yeah.
I actually do watch, because this week's gonna be busy.
I feel that.
NASCAR weekend at Coda. Hopefully, a lot of people show up, because I don't think there's any major weather concerns this time around.
Hopefully.
NASCAR has added mud flaps to the Cup cars, so that's kind of cool.
Hopefully we don't encounter any mud.
Mud.
God.
Or dirt track. Hey, if it's a dirt track, Kyle Larson will win, right?
Yeah. I see it as a win-win.
It's an absolute win.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Trucks Kyle Busch is entered in the 51. You're not allowed to pick him.
All right. Oh, I can't even pick Todd because he's not in that race either.
Todd.
Todd Gilliland.
Zane Smith got him. Take Tyler Ankrum.
Trucks?
Yep.
Who won Watkins
Brad
Glen
Perez.
last season?
Who won Watkins Glen?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Todd?
Was it or was it Austin Hill?
Oh, it was Austin Hill.
Oh,
That's
I can't
right.
pick Austin Hill either.
That's why I said
Brad
Tyler
Perez.
Ankrum.
Brad Perez.
Tyler Ingram's not good though.
Brad Perez.
Okay. Brad Perez.
Alright. Give
Bread
me
man.
a.
Huh?
Breadman?
Yeah, the bread man.
The Breadinator?
I feel. I feel physically ill picking him, but give me Ben Rhodes.
Physically ill.
Yeah, my body
all
is rejecting it.
As all things Ben Rhodes are.
Xfinity. Bubba Wallace is going to be in the 18, thank God. Don't know why he hasn't done more Xfinity races since rejoining Toyota. Ross in the 92, Custer's in the 07. I think I forgot a couple other Cup guys, but
AJ Allmendinger.
Give me the little gator, Justin Allgaier.
Josh Berry.
Ooh,
Let's go.
Spicy one.
It'll probably we did that. We coordinated that, everybody.
It's a spicy one.
I wouldn't be, Ty Gibbs will be good, so yeah.
But that's lame. If you pick that Gibbs, lame.
Lame. Cup.
Agree. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough.
You could pick the same person.
This is tough. Tyler Reddick.
Damn it. It's actually
You
who
know
I was
what?
gonna pick.
Good.
Ross Chastain.
Oh my god, I was gonna take Ross. I was feeling stupid.
Just take Larson. That's who you always
No, I'm not gonna take Larson.
take. Okay, take Chase.
Is AJ running the Cup race?
Yep.
Give me AJ.
Oh, that's who I was gonna pick. I'm just kidding.
You can't say that's who I was gonna pick when you already picked.
I mean, it is who he picked.
Everyone
for
else said
Xfinity.
it. I wanted to say it too. Everyone else said it.
I will definitely be for my 2 bets for the week. My $2 bets. My 2 $1
You gonna
bets.
cash out on him halfway through again?
No, I'm not, because we
Bet on
learned
a
our
Josh
lesson.
Bilicki top 5.
Yeah.
We learned our lesson on putting $1 on Chase Briscoe to win, and then he won, and we cashed out already. Anyways,
Can I give you money to put on Josh Bilicki for a top for how does
For
it
a
work?
top
What can I
10.
do?
you can do top,
Top
10.
10? Oh, I'll do top 10.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'll
I'll
PayPal
let you know
or
when those
Venmo
odds
you or
go
something.
in.
Watch Todd Gilliland mess
Okay,
around
let me know.
and just win this race.
Actually, let me know. I'm gonna send you that money.
Okay. I'm going to bet on Josh Bilicki to finish top 10.
Yeah, Joe's gonna bet on Josh Bilicki. I'm gonna fund his bet.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna
You're
be
gonna
paid
hedge it
handsomely.
for him.
I'm going to suddenly be paid handsomely for my efforts on the Fake Racers podcast.
You're hedging it. That's all you're doing. So
I don't know what that. Listen, hedging it sounds like something a Bush would do, and I hate Kyle Bush, so I can't. I don't know.
Anyways,
we all know that's a lie.
it's
first
been
off.
It's true. I like Kyle.
new episode of the Fake Racers podcast. Can't thank you guys enough for watching here on JTN2. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. You don't want to miss any of the other content we got coming out here on JTN2. I'm going to have an IndyCar diecast review coming up in the next couple weeks too, so that's kind of cool. Got that LEO Indy 500 car in finally. Just haven't had a chance to open it yet. So
Is this
Booyah.
distracting?
it is a little bit. Why don't you tell us more about
Sorry.
yourself, Davey?
Sorry, I'm in the Mercedes right now. So my Twitter is at Davey Hazard. My Instagram's at D7H5. And my Twitch is at D7H5 with an ER at the end. Lewis needs to slow down because I'm still bouncing. I'm porpoising on the straightaway. This is not fun.
Matthew.
That was a dumb joke.
You
Yeah,
can
no
find
one
me
was
on Twitter.
laughing.
That was a dumb joke.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at msteelman51. I'll probably be complaining about Wingstop on there. Also, more than likely going to be up by the time you see this. Disqualified episode 3. We're talking about life racing engines. It's a doozy. We did fully break Davey at one point towards the end of that episode, so that was pretty good. Yeah, I really like this week's episode, and go check it out.
I'm Joe, and this is JTN2, JoJo Network 2. So make sure you also remember to hit the like button and subscribe. You can check out our main page at JTN. We got a bunch of great racing. Maverick Cup Series on Tuesday, March 22nd. Bomb Squad every Thursday. Next week we have racing literally Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on JTN. I'm going to be miserable next week, but I'm going to be happy when you're listening to me. So this is why we need a second.
Yeah.
This is why we need a second lead commentator, because holy crap, that's a lot. Anyways, I never saw Mike Joy call 5 races in a row. Just call me the GOAT.
Good God.
Watch out, Murray Walker. I'm coming for you.
Vince Welch, more like
Vince
bad Welch.
Dilch.
Murray Walker. This podcast is good except for the fact that it isn't.
But
F1 spelled backwards is if. So, that's my favorite Murray Walker quote.
Can't thank you folks enough for watching this week's episode of the Fake Racers podcast here on JTN2. For everyone here, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time right here on JTN2.
Goodbye.
Hello.